Hello everyone.
Hello, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Look, Mad Cat has got 3 mad little kittens. We won them in Tokyo, where we went on a trip last week. Anyway, so we've been wanting to talk to you about the process of finding an apartment in Japan as a mixed scholar or otherwise. So basically, there is an ambulance passing, right? And it's just so loud. I don't know if you can hear it.
Definitely part of the experience.
So basically, when I came to Japan 1 year ago today, actually, I was allowed to stay in university accommodation. I had arranged for this accommodation in advance, like the summer before coming here, several months before coming here. And there was a large variety of rooms and apartments available, including for a family. There is also one for a large family, like more than 4 people, and of course the vast majority just separate rooms for one person. But I was granted an apartment for a family of 3 where we spent almost a year. However, there was absolutely no way to stay in that apartment. Basically, really 1 year is the absolute limit. And for some of my friends, it was actually 6 months, not 1 year. So we can't really complain. We were very happy there. Everything was so organized. There was literally the administration living there with us. It really felt like we really felt protected, and we felt like if we had any problems, we had people to address them for us. So remember while we were in Europe during the summer, you were really stressed out about whether we were going to find an apartment quick enough, and you were really pushing me, saying we should start doing something. And indeed, maybe a month before coming to Japan, we started looking at apartments. So generally what we did is we looked at one big website called Sumo, where you get all possible offers of apartments in the particular city or region, and it is not associated with a particular renting agency. It's just really everything that is on offer, and the agency is written as part of the information. And something else we looked at was like various Facebook pages where we thought maybe we could see an actual owner renting out their apartment. So as some time passed and we were looking at apartments, we had 2 ideas in mind with 2 different agencies. And we thought this was a good thing because you never know. So there was this apartment that looked really cool that we saw on Sumo. I was going to say com, but it's probably Japan.jp. So there was this apartment that was like 3 minutes from our son's school. So we were really excited about this one, and it seemed perfect. It was even furnished, which is so rare, and there was internet. And we contacted the agency, just a regular Japanese agency. I wrote in Japanese while apologizing that my Japanese is bad, and they wrote back saying that the apartment was still available and saying that it's important to actually attend a viewing of the apartment. We told them we would come and see the apartment as soon as we arrived in Japan, which took some time, but there was nothing we could do in the meantime. And then our other option that we were considering was actually an agency that kind of specializes in foreigners living in Japan, that contacted us on Facebook answering one of our posts. So this agency was really, in terms of communication, they were really helpful, really answering regularly, asking questions about what exactly we're looking for. They scheduled an online meeting pretty fast in order to learn more about what we were looking for. So I even felt like bad about doing these two things in parallel, because both of them seemed like really good enough. It felt like this agency specializing in non-Japanese people was ready to help us out, but then there was that other flat that was just amazing, and we would just have to go see it, and we could rent it.
And I queued in and saying that that's perfectly normal. If anything, that wasn't much.
Well, to have two
Yeah.
options. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I was going to say that fast forward, this apartment that seemed so great, offered by the Japanese agency, I thought of writing an email once again just to make sure there were no misunderstandings, asking, can you please confirm that we can rent the apartment for less than 1 year, because normally contracts are for 2 years, and a couple of other questions. And one of the questions was, once again, we're 3 people, we're a family of 3, okay, like a married couple with their teenage son. Is that okay? And when they answered this email, it was like a list of answers saying, yes, you can rent it for less than 1 year. Yes, you have free internet. No, children are absolutely not allowed. Yes, there is a bus stop right in front of it. Like, we can't exactly leave our son in the street while we're living there. So I wrote an email saying, well, there is no point seeing this apartment then. So that really would have spared us some time if we had written to them a bit earlier. And in parallel, we were negotiating with the other agency. We had shortened our list to something like 4 or 5 apartments, and we started attending viewings. And these apartments just looked awful, too small, and kind of far as well. There was one that was already quite far from Stefan's school, but when it comes to the university, it was like crazily far. It would have taken like an hour and a half to walk to the university, or like maybe nearly an hour to go by bus. And that's when we realized that we had to change the budget significantly in order to guarantee a bigger apartment as well as a better location. The thing is, we were comparing prices to the price of our previous apartment that was a university apartment. Sadly, we couldn't realistically look for anything that's near that price. The apartment we have now is twice more expensive, and we're happy. It was like the best we could do. So we had to change the budget, and we quickly made a new list of apartments, really making sure the apartments are big enough and that they're not too far from the center. When I'm saying big enough, let me explain what I mean. So for the 3 of us, we were looking for apartments that were there is this Japanese system, it's called 1L, which means living, LRK, living room, kitchen, I think. 1LK, one living room, kitchen. And then there is also 1LDK. I hope I'm not mixing this up, but that means 1 room. The 1 means 1 room, 1 bedroom, and then L is living room, D is dining room, and K is kitchen. So for 3 people, we couldn't go at least without the extra dining room. So now the apartment we found, actually we have 1 room, which is our son's room, and then there is the living room with the dining room, which is also our room. Ideally, I even think it would have been better to have 2 rooms and then the kitchen, living room. But also, of course, we had to look at the actual square meters, and depends on your what system you're using. We used to square meters. We thought we should set it as a requirement that it should be no less than 40 square meters. And just to compare, one of the apartments we viewed was actually 18 square meters. And I saw it and I was like, okay, well, what are we thinking? Okay, so once we made this new list of more realistic apartments in terms of budget, things started moving quickly. We actually had to spend some time in a hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was fun. Actually, the hotel happened to be just 5 minutes from the apartment where we're living now. We had no way of really knowing that, but yeah, that was nice. So we spent around 2 weeks in a hotel while the procedure was being finalized. We kind of made an order of preference for maybe there were 5 or 6 apartments, and the agency, the one we mentioned as specializing in non-Japanese people living in Japan, was extremely helpful. They would really contact us several times a day, really making sure everything is the way we wanted it and making sure things are moving as quickly as possible. Actually, if anyone is in Kyoto or the Kansai area, we would love to give them a shout out. They were called Suji.
Suji, yeah.
Suji, yeah.
Very helpful. Yeah.
Very, very helpful. So we viewed a couple of other apartments. We had to change one because actually suddenly the price
It went up.
went up, yes,
Yeah.
almost twice. This was crazy. So we changed our order of preference, and this was the one we wrote first, right?
Yeah.
And we had to indicate at least 2 because there is a procedure for confirming that we can be given this apartment. So actually there is a long line of communication. There is this agency that works with us that has to contact another agency that in turn communicates, I think now, with the landlord.
Yeah.
So the process of confirming whether they would accept you to stay in an apartment is around 2 weeks. However, like it often happens in Japan, this is really a deadline. Usually things take a little bit less, let's say a week instead of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Some problems that could occur can include, for instance, you not being able to prove sufficient profit, right?
Yeah.
That you're working in the moment, you're receiving a scholarship, and that it all fits within the range of the rent. Also, sometimes you are required to have a guarantor. This is very specific here.
Yeah.
This can be a person, like a Japanese person who is less than 60 years old or 70 years old and working and who can prove an income. Or alternatively, a company. Actually, we went for a company. We really couldn't have thought of a Japanese person to give this kind of responsibility to. So we used a company that served as a guarantor, and the company had actually previously worked with the agency, so this went very smoothly. They already had each other's contact details. And in the cases where a guarantor is not needed, or the guarantor is a company rather than a person, you still need to give an emergency contact, which has to be a working Japanese person. And actually my university supervisor was kind enough to do this for me and to sign my contract as emergency contact. And you need to give all possible kinds of information, such as the person's birth date, address. What else? Yeah, so basically comparing this to Bulgaria, where many people would just directly talk to the owner of the apartment, and it's like just a question of I like you, you like me, or you know, it's done. You can settle it.
Well, we can compare it to we actually rented a flat in Bulgaria, and we got along really well with the owner, and that went like super smoothly.
That was all. Yeah.
That was it.
And another thing was we really needed to have a Japanese phone number, which we didn't have in the moment. I have a SIM card, but it wasn't working in the moment, so we thought of something on Skype actually. We got a Skype number that is a Japanese number. You can set your Skype number to be from just any country. So we did that, and they actually, I'm not sure who, but someone called us. I think the company that communicates with the company that communicated with us. They really insisted on calling, and we knew we were expecting a call. So we were really like glued to Skype, expecting a call, which, you know, it took place, but it was difficult to speak in Japanese. That's very good for learning a language though, like going through a phone call is the ultimate challenge. But basically they just wanted to hear us, that's all. And then maybe a day or two after the phone call, the company, Suji, wrote to us to say, congratulations, they're giving you the apartment. Like, you know, with these celebrating emojis, the cat, little cat, and boom.
Yeah.
And
the place is nice.
yes, actually, I thought maybe when we're done with this video, we could film a little tour of the apartment.
Sure.
We are right near a school, a primary Japanese school, so we hear the school bells all the time. It's always the same in every school. Da, 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 right?
Yeah. Not quite, but...
No? Was that the sound when you enter Family Mart?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was?
That's...
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mixed it up with the sound the door makes when you enter Family Mart.
Yeah, well, yeah. You have like lots of little like sounds and little melodies in Japan. That's part of the fun. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we now talk about the problems that came after after we were given the apartment? So first of all, like we mentioned, apartments are not furnished at all. There is nothing. You know, there is no electricity, no gas, no fridge, you know, nothing, no beds.
Yeah.
But this went relatively smoothly. While we were staying in the hotel, we started looking at some sayonara sale pages on Facebook, which is like places where people leaving Japan give their belongings either for free or for kind of small symbolic sum. So we arranged for mattresses, a fridge, a microwave. Anything else?
Well, we arranged for a desk.
Yeah, a desk, that's right. It's like a makeup table, it's really cool. A chair and a table, like literally it was one chair in the beginning.
Yeah, so the chair was a mess actually, I cleaned it. I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, things were not perfect.
Yeah, far from it, but you know, you can't expect too much.
And like, actually, we forgot to say, but one of the reasons they really wanted to double and triple check that we were okay with this apartment was that it is on the 5th floor and there is no lift.
Yeah. So the fridge was fun.
The double mattress was hard.
Yeah, the double mattress was fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was tiring. And also, all these sayonara sale objects, basically you have to go and pick them from somewhere. People are normally not ready to transport them to your place. So we looked for someone who can help us out with the truck, and we found actually a really cool guy who did that. He came all the way from Kobe, which is like 100, I could be wrong, but around 100 kilometers away. And he helped us carry the stuff. Also, there were 4 boxes that we left at the university accommodation. We asked if we could leave these things until we find a place, and that then we would pass with a truck and take them. And they kindly accepted. They had no problem with that. So also we had to arrange for the electricity and the gas. This was completed online. It wasn't very easy, like we used Google Translate and QR code scanning and writing our names in so many different ways so that they're finally accepted, because they had to be written in kanji. And there were quite a few problems, but it took no more than an hour to set this up. Then the electricity came right away, and for the gas, someone had to come and manually switch it on.
Yeah.
But still, this took just a day or two. With the internet, the situation was not very good, and it still isn't. So we decided to go with pocket Wi-Fi. We read that it's
unlimited.
Yeah, that's another point, but that it's recommended for foreigners that are not planning to stay for a very long time, because normally internet contracts are at least 2 years long, and with big penalties if you want to cancel before that. And also you normally need a Japanese credit card in order to pay for it. So really pocket Wi-Fi seemed to be a good option. It was supposedly unlimited. However, it was not unlimited at all. Basically, it took us a little bit less than 2 weeks to go through the data we had. We had, accessible for the month. And we were wondering what was going on. We called them. They recommended we take a second one, which we did. And the second one worked completely differently. The second, pocket Wi-Fi router. It had daily limits. And literally, if you watch like 5 or 6 YouTube videos, you're done for the day. Yes. So this has been very challenging. And just recently, we arranged for an actual fiber internet to be installed in our place. It is by Sakura Fiber, and again it is foreigner friendly because there is English speaking support, and also there is no 2-hour contract. Like it's you say 2 hour? Yeah, that will be a short contract. It's like a monthly contract. You indicate the number of months you're planning to use the service, but actually we still don't have it. We have set up a date for them to come and install it, but it is a bit harder. They needed the contact information of our landlord in order to call and make sure that they can install the fiber. I'm not sure how that works, but it's not very straightforward. We're really looking forward to that because it's hard to have these daily limits on the internet. Is there anything else you would like to say? You good?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. That's basically it. This is our experience with renting an apartment in Japan. If you have any questions, if you think we can be useful, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. And we'll try to film a little video of what our apartment looks like.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that's a very short tour of our flat, kind of. So we're starting with Stefan's room. That's actually some pretty cool desk that we got at, I think through like Iglika told me Sayonara sale, so that's quite nice. Looks very 70s aesthetic. It's nice. Those lamps, like, that's total Blade Runner. So, okay, so that's the loo. That's the entrance. Oh, I just rained, so there's an umbrella there. So we put our clothes there. I think initially it was actually thought for, like, meant for, like, shoes. But since we have a lot of clothes, we just went, like that. Okay, so that's the shower. Like here there is a space to put like a washing machine, but we didn't really have the time to, we really couldn't be bothered to bring it up the stairs. Okay, the sink, there's a beautiful jacket that Stefan ruined by putting like Nutella on it. So I'm trying to clean it as best as I can. So that's the kitchen. That's the Tower of Doom. Very nice view of Kyoto. And that's all of it. And that's it. So yeah, pretty cool.